Hey guys, what's going on today? This is Dal Su, of course, and I want to talk about something today. I try to more or less keep the political stuff sort of out of the channel. I know that I do kind of dip into it from time to time because I'm an open person and I tend to like say the things that I feel and think, despite how unpopular or horrible they may be sometimes. But anyway, this video is a little bit political, but also kind of personal, if that makes any sense. So, I'm going to share something with you that is very personal, which is that when I was in my 20s, I was sort of like addicted to Vicodin. Well, there it is. I was addicted to Vicodin. I have to say maybe I'm still addicted to opiates in some way. Although I don't tend to do opiates day to day because it's just not a sustainable habit. It's not something that you can do day to day and still have a normal, productive life. But suffice to say that I, suckled on the teat of opiates at a young age, and ever since have had a fondness in my brain chemical profile or whatever it is for opiates. And, maybe once a month I indulge. And the reason I drink, and I've talked to a lot of people about on the channel about my drinking, and the reason that I drink is because it is the sort of numbing agent that is acceptable and popular and normal, for lack of a better word. I wouldn't drink if other things were available, But I will say that on alcohol's behalf, it does have kind of a low impact on your life if you just dabble. If you're not like a full-time drinker, it does allow you to sort of function. Whereas like you can't really dabble in heroin, or you can't really dabble in like Oxycontin or whatever. But I have definitely dabbled in Vicodin on and off throughout my life, and so that's my sort of confession here to you guys. The point of all this is that sort of the way that I broke my habit with Vicodin was through this plant. I guess it happened when I was about 22. I'm 30 now, 32 soon. Actually, I'm 31. It's going to be 32 soon. I forget my age sometimes. Anyway, there is a plant that actually allows you to sort of escape the stranglehold that opiates have on you, called Kratom or Crotum. I've always pronounced it Crotum, but they tell me that the correct pronunciation is Kratom. And it's a plant that grows in Southeast Asia, which is a place that I've been several times and almost died in, but that's a story for another day. They actually raise this plant. They used to raise the plant before it was outlawed because it interfered with the opiate trade, which is called Kratom, Kratom. And this plant is sort of like a very mild. It's not even really an opiate. It's like a plant that binds to the same receptors in your brain as traditional opiates do, but it's not. It doesn't have the same like chemical profile as an opiate exactly. It's what you would call an alkaloid. I as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, you chemists out there, but an alkaloid is like a kind of combination of many different chemicals. Okay, and so this plant is in the same family as coffee, and it is considered to be, in worst case, a mild opiate. And this plant actually helps you stop taking more hardcore opiates, right? So when I was about 24, 25, I guess, I kind of decided that I wanted to quit taking Vicodin. And so I started taking this plant called Kratom, which you could order online at the time. Now it's available in head shops and shit. It's like a legal high and stuff, and it's all kind of been exploited by people who sell it for way more than they paid for. I mean, I do business too. I understand selling things for twice what you paid for them, but people are selling this shit for like 10 times what they paid for it. Anyway, the DEA has had this on a list of concerns for a while, and is finally now going to move to outlaw it, which I think is really bullshit. And I hope that you guys would agree with me on this, but Like, you don't need the government to tell you what you can, what you can put in your body. I know it's a very, like, cliche way to put it, but that's the truth. And I was thinking about this today, and I was thinking about how when I was growing up, I grew up in the South in a kind of rough area and stuff, and we used to get in fist fights all the time, and one time I remember I got in a fist fight, and it was not really my cause. Like, I didn't want to fight. This guy broke my nose and tumbled me over and all this kind of stuff, which is actually one of the reasons I got addicted to Vicodin in the first place. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I got in this like tumble with this guy, and he basically just attacked me at a field party or whatever. And I went to the police and asked them if they could press charges against this guy. And I remember the police just basically laughing in my face because they're, they said that's just something that happens to you when you're a young man, and, just deal with it and all this kind of stuff, which is fine. True enough. Fair enough. Like, let's not raise a generation of pussies here. But it just blows my mind that the fact that I would want to put some plant in my body is way more serious. And they're actually putting it on Schedule 1. Schedule 1 is the same schedule as they put heroin in. And I'm not going to make any comment on heroin because I don't know anything about it. Except for I imagine that shit is amazing. But I'll digress and say that I've never experienced that, and I don't want to experience that because knowing my personality, that would be a horrible thing to do. But regardless of that, I just have been thinking today, like, people are allowed to, like, beat me physically, but if I put this plant in my mouth, then I could go to jail, and it's just very, very unfair. And you guys know this. This sense of unfairness that is within me is very strong, and I want to do something about it. And I have, like, 900 people on the channel or something like that. Actually, it's 800 at a fair estimate. But there's a petition going around right now that will legalize this drug, or at least stop. It's already legal. I put that the wrong way. It will stop it from becoming illegal. So if you guys have some time, I'm going to put the link in the description. Please sign this, because I'm really sick of big nanny government telling me what I can and can't do, and I thought this would be a small thing that I could do about it. Thank you guys. I'll see you around on the channel. Bye. Channel.